What up, nerds? Season 1, Episode 3 of Atlanta, Go for Broke, starts us off with one of the most mean moments of Atlanta. Earn is off from work at the airport and is trying to order a kid's meal from the burger joint, but the nice lady at the counter doesn't see any kids, so that won't fly. I know that if you go to a sit-down restaurant, the kids menu is for the kids and it's cheaper, but I never heard of a fast food spot enforcing that rule, so I understand Earn's frustration.
That's not true. I know that's not true.
Oh yeah, it is. Only a kid can order it.
I love the way that Earn tries to justify ordering a kid's meal, saying that you don't have to be Evander Holyfield to get the champ.
Hey, do you have to be Evander Holyfield to get the champ? Okay, do you have to be fucking chubby checker to get the chubby decker? Do you need to have a long foot to... That one doesn't translate, but you know, this is ridiculous.
If my fat boy research is correct, the champ is the menu item at rallies. I'm not exactly sure what the chubby decker is, but my big back analysis have confirmed that it's the signature burger at a rant called Zesto in Atlanta. The scene is also just funny to me because Earn does have a kid. Why doesn't he just say he's picking up food on his way home for his very real daughter? But the lady is unimpressed with the rant, but he is able to get one over on them because he gets the water cup and fills it up with some Fanta. When he gets spotted by their cleaning lady, a meme is born and we get the title card revealed on the floor next to a mop. Little does Earn know that this will be the first of many interactions that really stresses the Go for Broke episode title. We catch up at Al's place and Darius is ironing out money trying to get those bills crispy. Al is explaining to Earn that instead of working for commission at the airport, he should just sell drugs.
Might as well sell drugs.
Yeah. How do you make money?
I sell drugs.
I like how Darius randomly pulls a gun out of a cereal box, specifically a box of Bolitos. I'm pretty sure that's a fake cereal brand, but let me know if I'm wrong. It turns out that Al and Darius will be going on a drug deal somewhere in the woods in this episode. Earn is still in the beginning of being a manager and just tries to remind Al, now that he's getting a bit more famous, he might want to relax on drug dealing and messing with the wrong people, which makes sense considering a dude in a Batman mask paid Al and Darius a visit in the last episode. Later that night, Earn is hanging out at Van's place, and when Van comes in, you can tell she is fed up with Earn crashing at her spot. He hasn't really been helping out around the house and didn't offer to pick up Lottie from his own parents' house.
I just got here. I thought you were gonna pick her up today, right?
Is it really that hard to help me out every once in a while? I even have to take her to your parents' place myself. Really, Earn?
I may have talked about this already in a past video, but I really like how we are kind of just dropped into Earn and Van's relationship. It's not like we ever get the origin story of their relationship, and they aren't even together at this point in the show. It's just a very complicated relationship history that doesn't need to be explained, but for me, it is entirely understood. This scene also introduces the main conflict of their relationship that is persistent until the end of the series. The conflict being that Earn is basically blinded by his own ambition and takes Van for granted.
I'm the stereotype? While your ass, you can't even take care of your own goddamn kid?
I'm fine being a stereotype. It's working out great for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in a bed, but I'm technically homeless. It's pretty great.
Van does believe in Earn, but also doesn't feel seen and supported in the same way she supports Earn. You really get the sense that Van isn't even really tripping about supporting Earn financially. She just wants Earn to actually show that he appreciates her and is willing to put his family first. Earn tries to make it up to Van by offering to buy her dinner, and by the next morning we realize how hard that's going to be because it's his payday, and this dude only got $96 in his account. And listen here, my guy, been there and done that. Then God forbid you didn't cancel your Netflix or Amazon or whatever, and it gets taken out of your account on the same day. Fuck it, kids, man, let me get these ramen noodles. So Earn calls his friend for some advice, and whatever happened to this dude in later seasons? He shows up quite a bit this season, but just kind of disappears after season 1. This episode is absolutely filled with banger lines, but I find myself cracking up at this phone call.
How are you broke on payday? What are you, 12 years a slave?
Yeah, my name is 12 Years the Slave. The slave.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. But my guy tells Earn that $62 is enough for a date, and I don't know about that. I mean, I do have a master's degree in brokenomics, and anything can be a date, so I'm not doubting that. But if we're talking about getting dinner that is meant to show someone they are appreciated, I mean, we will not be taking an Uber is all I'm saying. So my guy tells Earn about a spot he takes all his girls, the Indigo Lounge, where they have cheap drinks and a happy hour special that's available for dinner. Turns out dude was with his girl during the whole conversation. Crazy behavior.
Yo, I know you was not just listening to my conversation. Girl, you are something else.
But yeah, Earn got a plan and he's feeling good.
Shit, I might just win tonight.
He won't. He won't. Shouldn't have said that, homie. GG. We catch up with Al and Darius, and they are cleaning their guns in preparation for the meetup. I love how concerned Al looks when he finds out that Darius calls his gun daddy.
Man, I ain't scared of nothing. I got daddy right here.
You call your gun daddy?
Yes.
This leads to a larger debate. Is it weird for your girlfriend to call you daddy?
Is it weird when your girl call you daddy?
Man, that's completely different. And yes, it is.
I'm on Al's side on this one. Yeah, it's weird. Please don't call me that. It just doesn't sound right. And I feel like I only hear it said jokingly more than sexually nowadays. Maybe that's just me though.
What you call your gun?
Nigga gun.
Darius says that he's going to handcuff the briefcase to his wrist. Not gonna lie, that's what I would do too, just for the aura. Later that night, Van and Ern are driving to their date and shit is already going wrong because Ern is trying to find street parking, but Van is like, let's just valet. You can tell Ern is starting to sweat because that valet parking is going to run at least $10. So Ern does pull up to a parking lot that is presided over this dude who's just hustling really. He doesn't even own the lot. He just found an orange vest and a stubby green lightsaber.
I ain't no parking lot. No, I found this vest over there at the Kroger Shopping Center. And this here's a lightsaber. Luke Skywalker.
Which is hilarious to me because like a minute before Ern put the Yoda voice on and said,
Patience, young Vanessa.
but yeah, parking sucks. What's the deal with parking? Am I right? So Van obviously doesn't want to leave her car with this dude, so Ern has to get that valet. Ooh, and that's going to leave a mark on the budget. Actually, let me put on a money tracker starting now. Ern received a direct deposit of $96, but had to pay for the bus card and what else, and says he's got $62.
Math of the money I need for the week, including this MARTA card, I only have $62 left over.
$10 for the valet, so we are at $52. It is not looking good for my boy. We catch up with Al and Darius trying to get their deal done. A dude pulls up and lets them know there's been a change of plans and they gotta follow him out to the boonies. They pull up to a trailer in the woods and that's when Darius reveals that although he handcuffed the briefcase to himself, he forgot to bring the key.
Did you get the handcuff key off the table?
They walk up to the dudes at the trailer and they are greeted with the members of the Migos. And I remember when I first watched this episode when Darius earlier said that they were meeting up with the Migos for the deal.
Going to see the Migos.
I just thought that's just what he was calling them. I don't know, but I was so surprised that it was actually the Migos. It's just a funny cameo and one of those moments I knew that the show was going to be on a different level and I had no idea where the plot would go next. So Al and Darius sit down and the Migos pull this dude out of the storage unit of their RV. It's wild. They dress him up in an orange vest and tell him they are going to let him go. He just has to start running. As the dude scampers off, Quavo pulls out a hunting rifle and blasts him like he didn't hit the subscribe button. It's dirty work. All the while, Darius is still tripping because he really can't find the key to the handcuffs. Guys, this episode might be in the top 10 because what the fuck is happening? Let's see what Ern and Van are up to. They just sat down at the restaurant and Ern just got some bad news. They do not do the happy hour menu anymore.
What?
Yeah, we got a new owner from New Orleans. He's kind of changing it up. We do mostly seafood now, not the tapas and stuff, but it's really good.
And they mostly do seafood now. Bro, it is so over for you. Look at his face. His world is actually crumbling and the waiter is not helping one bit. Like Quavo just shot this dude in the back, but this waitress is the real antagonist of this episode.
Well, I think...
You know, the shrimp puffs go really great with that soup. I'm gonna throw in an order of those too.
For free?
My guy doesn't just try to order water. He specifically asked for tap water. Like, please just run the faucet for me, baby. And then Van orders the grilled scallop and lobster at market price. Ern goes up and checks to see exactly how much it is and gets roasted.
You ring up my order and tell me how much I'm spending. I just got something that's market price.
Wow. Broke as fuck, my nigga.
So it's a bit hard to update the budget counter at this point, but right now, Ern has ordered the soup of the day that the waitress said was
$28. Do you have anything else?
Sounds really good.
It's so good. You're gonna love it.
and the waitress added shrimp puffs as an appetizer. Conservatively, I would say we'll run at least $15. Van got a cocktail, so let's add another $15. Ern got a Miller High Life, so let's say $8.
Do you have a Miller High Life? Like the ones in the can?
We got a hipster.
But the big one is the market price scallop and lobster.
But actually tonight we have a special grilled scallop and lobster meal. It's incredible.
That sounds really good.
It's market price.
That means it's fresh.
It's really
Yeah, I'm gonna
fresh.
have-
Depending on portion size, that is going to run $40 to $70. So let's just put it at $50 for that one. So that puts the budget at negative $64. Ern, buddy. It was over before it even started. We ain't even talking about leaving a tip yet. Y'all are about to be washing dishes on your date night. But after Earn and Van order, they talk more about what they believe, and I fuck with what Earn says about using failure to find yourself.
I just think we need a chance as humans to fail in order to discover what actually works.
But Van hits him with a reality check, basically saying that failure isn't really an option when you are trying to raise kids with somebody. It's just good dialogue because, again, at this point of the show, we really are just trying to figure out what these characters are all about. And it's the little moments like this juxtaposed with all the craziness that makes the show work so well. Van goes to the bathroom and the waitress heads back, and this is when Earn snaps.
How about I go get the dessert menu and I'll come back and
Just get us the check and stop trying to upsell me on shit. You're killing me tonight. You've been fucking killing me.
One of my favorite line deliveries. Earn looks at the check and he is devastated. My guy was probably contemplating running off and leaving Van with the tab, to be honest. Meanwhile, Al and Darius are meeting with the Migos inside the RV, and they have some questions for Al.
You just got arrested, dog. You was locked up for murder, right? Now you back? Man, that's kind of fast, dog.
Because yeah, how is it that Al was just released off a murder charge and is immediately back to trapping?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And of course, right at that moment, Al's phone starts ringing. It's Earn asking if Al can put some money on his books. Earn is only asking for $20, so clearly he had more money in his bank account than just his direct deposit from this morning, but not much. At the same time, it's funny as hell because he doesn't know he's on speakerphone, asking about how the deal is going and all of that.
The ones with the Mexicans, you guys had the guns, you guys were like, we ain't scared of these guys.
Yo, okay, man. All right, niggas, send any money. All right, peace out.
It all works out in the end for our guys because the other member of the Migos enters the trailer and he is a huge Paperboy fan.
Paperboy, right? I'll fuck with that poster mixtape.
All right, man. Okay.
I love how understanding they are about Darius not having the key to the handcuffs. Like, it's such a simple solution to a problem that was meant to raise the tension throughout the episode. Even funnier added to the fact that the solution comes after an ominous commercial break in the episode.
But I left the key at home, so kind of stuck.
We can solve that.
A few minutes later.
We'll just take the money. And y'all get to keep the briefcase. It's easy.
Cool.
Let me finish the A-plot with Earn and Van really quick. Van is thinking out loud about how his card got declined the first 3 times they swiped it.
It's weird that your card didn't work the first 2 times I swiped it.
And I wish they showed that scene because getting the waitress to swipe it 3 times is kind of crazy. Earn was about to get out the runt without leaving the tip, and Van not only calls him out on it, she also tells him to have some class.
Come on, it's not enough that she makes less than you because you got a dick. Have some class.
That has to hurt. And as they are leaving, we see the dude from the parking lot come in and tell this other guy that his car is getting towed and he needs to run out to get his vehicle.
Mr. Fogel, they towing your car. Come on.
Like, this guy's legit. He's standing on business, and I respect that. When they get back to Van's place, things are not going well. Van is basically telling him to save up for his own car, and then Earn kind of makes a dig at her about how she wants to open up a clothing boutique, and that right there killed everything.
You know, being a rapper is something that a high school kid wants to do.
Unlike opening a fashion boutique, which is super unique.
Because while Van was on some hater shit, the difference is that she actually does provide for her kid, and having a vision or a dream to do something else doesn't change that. Meanwhile, Earn is talking about, no, if you really love our daughter, you would let me chase my dreams while not being able to provide for anything. Like that type of shit.
And if you can't do this out of love for me, do this out of love for her.
That's some dumb shit. That's some dumb ass shit, Earn.
Like, you know that shit sounded so good in his head. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Are you drunk off that one beer? Earn goes out on the patio drinking alone, and he calls his bank to report his debit card stolen. The episode ends with the closing song, Spray the Champagne by the Migos.
I'd like to report a debit card stolen. Oh, champagne's the worst.
Spray the champagne. Spray the champagne. Spray the champagne. Spray the champagne.
What'd you call y'all group, man?
We the Migos.
Yeah, the 4 Migos. We're inseparable.